everyone, I'm Heather. Welcome to my crochet corner. Time to organize all this beautiful yarn. Let's get crafting.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here. My name's Heather. Today I will show you how to work up the squares for my axis coat pattern. Before we get started, I really appreciate all the love and support you can give, liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things. It really helps me continue creating and sharing more awesome free patterns and tutorials with you. I'm currently on my road to YouTube monetization and I only need roughly 120 more subscribers, so every little bit of support is very much appreciated. Okay, let's get started. You will need a 5mm crochet hook and a medium No. 4 weight acrylic yarn. Begin with a slip knot on your hook, chain 3. And then single crochet into the last chain space. Above the skipped chain, it will create a loop where we will work round 1. For round 1, chain 1 to begin, and then single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Repeat this 3 more times within the loop for a total of 4 times around. I've got all the new directions on screen as we go, along with my voice instructions and closed captions, and you can also refer to the timestamps and chapters in the caption below the video for all the extra help. From there, you can skip around to whatever point in the pattern that you might need, replay anything that you need to watch again, do as you wish. The other thing is you can also tap that gear icon to make this video at any speed that you would like to see it. So I tried my best to keep the majority of this video in real time, real speed. I know I still go relatively quick. For anything new, I try to slow it down. And then when I go back to my regular pace, if you still want to slow that down, you can. I only sped up one portion where I was repeating something we had already done. Round 1 was completed with a slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And then we worked one more slip stitch over underneath the chain 2 corner space. For round 2, we are going to pull up the loop about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Yarn over, insert into the same chain 2 corner space below and draw up the loop. Yarn over and repeat. Do this a total of 3 more times, 4 total. Yarn over and then pull through all the loops on your hook. Chain 2 and then repeat that puff stitch again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over and then through all the loops on my hook. Chain 1 to fasten that off. So we've created the first V puff stitch of 4 total, which is the first vertex of our square. Now double crochet into the next single crochet stitch. Work a V puff into the next chain 2 corner space, beginning with the first puff stitch. 3 and 4. Yarn over through all of them, chain 2 for the corner, and then another puff stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then yarn over and through all the loops. Chain 1 to fasten that off. Double crochet in the next single crochet stitch. We've now created 2 corners and 2 sides. So we just need to go 2 more times around. I'll meet you back at the very end, so just continue what we've been doing. Join the second round with a slip stitch into the very top of the first puff stitch. Slip stitch over one more under the chain 2 corner space to set up for the next round. This is what it looks like right now. Round 3 begins with a V-puff stitch in the corner chain 2 space, just as we did in the row below. Now we are going to work an increase double crochet stitch along the side. So here's the double crochet, there's the space before it, that's where our first double crochet increase goes. And then we work a double crochet into the double crochet stitch, and then an increase after the double crochet stitch. Join round 3 with a slip stitch into the top of the first puff stitch of the round, and then slip stitch over one more under the chain 2 corner space to set up for round 4. Here is what you should have at the end of round 3. Round 4 begins with a V-puff stitch in the chain 2 corner space. Here I'm working my first double crochet increase for the round, 3 double crochet across. And then I will do my second increase in the space after the double crochet stitch below. So I have a total of 5 across each edge. You can see it went from 1, then 3, and then 5. As always, connect your round using a slip stitch into the top puff stitch from the beginning of the round, and then slip stitch one more over to the chain 2 corner. This is what we have so far. A size small coat, I'm going to do one more increase round before doing the finishing round. We are on to round 5. Nothing is new here. We do the corners as usual, and then the edges will continue to have 2 increases per edge. So this round has a total of 7 double crochet across each edge. At the end of round 5, join using a slip stitch into the top puff stitch of the round, and then slip stitch one more over to the chain 2 corner space to set up for round 6. Here's our progress so far. We've got 5 rounds completed, 4 of them being the puff stitch rounds. The size small is almost complete. I'm now going to go on to my single crochet finishing round. If you're doing a medium, work 1 more increase round, and if you're doing a large, work 2 more, and then you can proceed with your single crochet finishing round. So you're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 space, single crochet in each puff stitch, and also single crochet in each of the increased spaces, and then 1 single crochet stitch per double crochet stitch. Join the round using a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch worked, and then slip stitch over to the chain 2 corner space, and then you can fasten off. I will quickly work up one more square, and then I can show you using this white yarn how we connect the two together. But first I'm just going to quickly show you some measurements, and just keep in mind that these were measured prior to any blocking or steaming. I've done reels of this before, so many people have probably already seen how this is done. I've got my blocking board here. Just put these on, and as I make more, I will put them on, but I steam block them in between. I'll let them dry overnight before seaming them together. now I'm going to show you how we work up the slip stitch joining method from the right side of our work. Count the total single crochet stitches that you have across each edge. For size small, I've got 15. So that means I need to do 15 slip stitches across to join. We are going to start with the slip knot on our hook. Begin with a generous size tail so that you can use that to weave in later on. We are going to connect with a slip stitch going from the right side toward the wrong in the chain 2 corner space. Keep the working yarn in behind and join into the same single crochet stitch on the opposite motif. Draw through both layers and then again through the final loop on our hook. So now we are connected and we can begin our slip stitches across from the right side only, keeping the working yarn on the back. So you're going to work in the inner loops or the back loops only of each single crochet stitch across. I just inserted my hook into the back loop of one single crochet, and then in the next motif the same thing, and now I draw that through both of those stitches and then again through the loop on my hook. So again, the third time, and we're just going to continue that the entire way across. Be careful not to tighten up your tension because you don't want it to cinch up the work. The last slip stitch will be worked in the final chain 2 corner spaces. At the end, work one more slip stitch on the outer edge and then fasten off. Now in the full jacket, you will just continue on until you have the total amount of motifs connected before you fasten off. We will do all the vertical and then afterwards do all the horizontal, or whichever direction you prefer to do first. So this is what it looks like from the wrong side. This is the side in which we weave all the tails in with a sewing needle. Of course, your slip stitch connection may be done in the same color as your motif, so you won't really see that stand out as much as mine does. And this is what it looks like from the front. I started this back in the fall of 2024. Have 8 rounds of finishing rounds from around this jacket that I now have to frog because it goes all the way around, even along the bottom, and I decided I need to add 8 more squares to the bottom. So take this off, put the squares on, and then do this all over again. You can see that this is where I left off. I have tried to make this coat so many times. I had it mostly done, was unhappy with the seaming that I did before. I did it in a different color than the squares. So I undid all that and rejoined my squares all together, remade the entire coat, and saw it from a distance and realized half the squares were a different color. They came from different dye lots, so always check your dye lot numbers. This is the proof.
I now have all these extra squares. You probably can't tell, maybe you can. The coat, I'm just finding dog fur everywhere. The coat itself has a bit of a buttery tone to it. And these ones are more, I don't even know. They're just a different color altogether. I really can't tell on video. So all these squares got removed from the jacket and re-seamed to make another one, or a blanket or something. And here's the back. It's quite the process. I promised this was going to be out, oh my gosh, I think 2 falls ago. And now we're June 2026 and I'm still working on it and hoping to have it out for this fall. So wish me luck. Also on the sleeve, I worked the seam from the wrong side, and I wish I did it like all my other joins where I worked slip stitch joins from the front, the right side. So I'm undecided if I'll take this off and redo that all again as well. We shall see. I also have to steam block the entire thing. I did do the individual squares and it helped a lot. Sometimes when you're working the seam, it tightens them up a little bit and bunches them. I don't mind it. Makes it kind of look like a quilted jacket, like a puffer winter coat. But to lay it a little flatter, I'm going to steam it.
My jacket used a total of 91 squares and 1 pentagon. So right now this slide and the next will outline the steps of how to make the pentagon. It's done in the same way as the squares, just the counts are a little bit different. Here and the following slides are all the panels that will be needed and where and how they will be joined. Use the same front-facing slip stitch joining method to create your panels, connecting all the squares together. Then you will connect the required panels together. These are all linked in the caption timestamps below the video so that you can skip to the one that you're looking for. And of course, if you want to download the full PDF downloadable Support the Artist paid pattern version, that will be on my Etsy and that will be linked as well.
And lastly, I still have all the ends I need to weave in, so everybody knows that's the most fun part. There's all kinds. I did get through probably half of them already, so you can't tell. Before we can do any photos.
You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top.
Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe so you can join me for our next crochet along.
So the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby. I will show you how you can catch my vibe. And right here we got so much time, looping in the blurry lights.